Howdy everybody, Steve here, KM9G. Today I'm at Eisenhower State Park in Kansas. I don't have Kansas in my POTA map as an activated state, so I've got to get Kansas in my POTA map as an activated state. Let's make it happen. I need to get me one of those little wagons that you can put all your gear in and just bring right up to the picnic table, because I'm going to be making a whole bunch of trips. We've got our 100 amp hour battery box. We've got our 100 watt radio in its fancy go box. And we have 100 pounds of POTA fun. For logging today, I'm going to be using my laptop. And in order to do that, I'm going to try out the Explorer Backpack Laptop Sleeve. This is actually pretty slick. This is from Gigaparts, and this is a set it once kind of deal. So I will unset it to show you how to set it. This is my brand new 2024 MacBook Pro. I want to make sure I protect this and keep it as clean and full of fingerprints as it is. But what you do is you set it down and you put the laptop in the bottom of the sleeve. And then depending on which size laptop you have, if you have a smaller MacBook like this, or if you have a bigger gaming laptop, you can spread it out. But in my case, it's pretty small. So I am going to take care of that. Take some time getting this exactly the right way you want it, because this is a one and done deal on getting it set up. I mean, you can obviously, as I'm showing you here, undo it a couple of times, but once you get it set up, it is the right size for your laptop forever. And then folds down on top like that. And the cool part about the Gigaparts bag kit is it is the hook and loop fastener style, the Velcro style, and this would stick inside of your Explorer backpack with the rest of your radio gear and it won't move around. And you can stick it in such a way that you can also stick more radio gear on top of it. And if you have it set to come out the top, then you can tuck this flap inside and get it out of the way, and your laptop is always accessible, and then your radio can hook and loop stick to the top of this. So pretty slick little design. And then depending on how rough your picnic table setup is, this one's not bad. This is epoxy coated metal, but sometimes they're pretty rough and nasty. You can put this down and then put your laptop on top of it, and now you're protecting your laptop from the picnic table. There will be a link for the laptop sleeve in the description down below. There is an awesome echo in here. Also, there will be a link for the laptop. Did you know you can get MacBooks and Dell laptops and stuff off of Amazon, and they're actually fairly cost competitive with going straight to Dell or going straight to Apple, and because they aren't built to order, they're already at Amazon's warehouse, they ship pretty quickly. Today's radio station is the Yaesu FT100. I'm still figuring this one out. I have not done a whole lot with it yet, but I'm using the Poseidon antenna from Coffee and Ham Radio, so I need a tuner. And of course, in order to radio, you're gonna need a radio. And look at this beauty. I don't even know what vintage this is. I'm guessing 80s, early 90s maybe. But on the back of it, which makes this radio special, is there is one for 2 meters, 70 centimeters, and one for HF. And then I've got power poles on it, which is gonna get me into my battery station. And then there is your digital radio adapter. And there's another digital radio adapter there. And then a bunch of other little ports on the back and some fans to keep this puppy cool when you're operating at 100 watts. And then I need a coax jumper to get me from the radio to the tuner. And today, to power the station, there is a Group 27 battery box that I have built a whole bunch of really cool stuff in it. And the battery that I have inside of here is the Power Queen Mini this time. But there is a build on this here with a regular Group 24 lithium ion battery up in the corner up there. And it is pretty straightforward. I have a power meter built in. It's telling me I'm at 13.1 volts. There's been some usage on this battery already. And I have 2 power pole connectors, one for the radio, one for the tuner. And then inside is the battery and a solar charge controller, and another small battery as a backup. So this is technically 110 amp hours. 2 is 1 and 1 is none, right? But wait, there's more. It gets even better than that. Because there's this room up front here, and instead of the normal Group 24, I've got a 3 amp hour Bio-NL, and I've got a 3 amp hour Denko. So it's 116 amp hours now. And then for today's antenna, 4 10-meter radials and the Coffee and Ham Radio's Poseidon antenna. This thing is going to get us some fantastic contacts today, and there is a build video for this linked up there, and of course links in the description where you can get your Coffee and Ham Radio's Poseidon antenna kit. Over under for the win. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to put my feed line choke up here at the tuner side instead of out there at the antenna side. Just imagine there's an antenna there. I haven't gotten that far yet. And here's my thoughts on that. If your antenna is vertical and you're using a ground plane for reference, anything that is under the antenna is going to be inductively coupled with the antenna itself. So today's an experiment. If you put the choke at the base of the antenna, you are choking out common mode current, which is then reoccurring because it is inductively coupled. True or false? I don't know. That's what I'm testing today. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you think that having the choke closer to the antenna or closer to the radio defeats the whole purpose, inductive coupling or common mode current reduction. Maybe you should choke both ends of it. That's probably the winning solution. More choke. I didn't think about this before I left home, but this FT100 has a really unique feature. Let me show you. So these are the connector parts for your antenna going into the body of the radio. And if I had the right coupler, I could plug this directly into the tuner down there without using this coax jumper. That's pretty neat. It's almost like they should have put the proper end on that to go into whatever your accessories are right from the factory. I need to go through this bag because it's getting really messy, but for my 1-rope guy system, I'm gonna need the sky hook, and this is the 3x8 model, and it fits over top of my mast, and then I use these roller cams here to get the guy ropes set up with my 1-rope guy system. So I need that, and then all the rest of this is all antenna making magic and antenna kits and rope and all kinds of stuff. And then on the front of this case, I need the tent stakes. So there'll be a future video where I go through and empty this out and put the right stuff back in it, which might be all the same stuff that's in there, who knows. Now for setting your radios up, you can do this any way you want. We sell the silicone wire with the kit, and the silicone wire is fabulous to work with. It doesn't have a memory, it slides right through itself very easily. It makes it very easy for you to deploy your radios. Let me show you how I do it. First thing I do, I have a little power pole flying lead connected to the ground connection there with some decent stiffness of wire, and then I put 4 10-meter radials into another power pole here, and I got them all connected up. That's step 1. Step 2 is where the fun begins. I just take one of those wires and I just start walking it away from the bundle of 3, and I keep doing that until I'm out of wires to walk away from, and they unravel themselves just fine. So in this case, all my radio wires go out that way currently, and I'm just gonna grab one of them and walk it out. And then my next one. And then this one here is going that way. So I really can't walk with it, but I can yank it back this way. And then this wire is already untangled and ready to go. And there's 4. Now we're all set up. And she's a beaut. We've got the Coffee and Ham Radio's Poseidon antenna, the 4 ground radials, and the mast set up with my 1-rope guy system. There will be a video on this 1-rope guy system linked at the top up there. And just in case things really get spicy, I have the solar charge controller in the battery box and a 100-watt solar panel here to keep everything all topped up. Now here's something I have never done before. I'm gonna try 146.5.2 on this and see if it works. When you are in a really, really busy area, and so far no traffic, it would be okay just to say KM9G monitoring and see if anybody picks you up. That's a really short amount of noise in the air. As somebody's walking through their shack or driving in their car, they might not hear you over bumps in the road or the radio they're listening to. So the same thing applies on 2 meters. You gotta put some noise out there that somebody might hear you as they're walking about their daily life or driving about their daily drive. CQ on 2, CQ on 2, CQ on 146.5.2. This is Kilo Mike 9 Golf, KM9G. I'm doing a Parks on the Air activation, and I wanna know if anybody is around. And if 5.2 was busy, I'd jump off, I'd ask for a QSY, I want to change frequency, that's QSY, to another frequency that we can talk to. Another thing you might be able to do is ask them where the locals hang out on simplex on their local repeater. Let's see if there's any local repeaters while I'm waiting, because I don't even know what park I'm at. I mean, I know physically what park I'm at, I don't know what park number I'm at. We'll get to that in a minute. Danger glasses on. Oh, I am nowhere near a repeater. Certainly not on a handy-talkie with a rubber duck. So this is repeater book. It says I'm in EM28 as my grid square, and the nearest repeater is 21 miles away. That ain't happening on a rubber duck. Unless I was on top of a mountain, which I'm not, that I know of. CQ12, CQ12, CQ on 14652. This is Kilo Mike 9 Golf. I'm doing a Parks on the Air activation. This is KM9G. Anybody out there? That's number 3 of putting some fire in the wire. This is a 450 square mile park, I think is what it said. So chances of me finding somebody on 2 meters simplex with the rubber duck means they have to be in the park, which isn't impossible. I mean, they could be driving in their car monitoring on 5.2. Maybe not. CQ12, CQ12, this is KM9G, Kilo Mike 9 Golf. I'm doing a Parks on the Air activation from Eisenhower State Park in Kansas. But if you're on 5.2, I guess you already know I'm in Kansas. Anybody out there? Nada. It's worth a shot. So another happy little accident. This battery box is sitting on the bench, you know, where things sit, and the radio is sitting on the table, you know, where things table. And my power leads are just long enough to get me my tuner connected and my radio connected directly to the battery box. So winning. Accidental winning is still winning, right? All right, the Yaesu FT100D was fantastic. We're sitting here with the MacBook and the Polo logging software, and we've got the Poseidon antenna from Coffee and Ham Radios. And I worked 20 and I worked a little bit of 17 trying to reach some people. We did a live stream, I got 66 contacts. So the live stream will be linked up there in the corner. And 66 contacts in an hour and a half. Farthest north was Manitoba in Canada. Farthest south was Texas. I'm pretty impressed. We didn't get any DX this time, but that's the way it goes. The band was kind of up and down, and it's always a fun day out here at the park. Check this guy out on this boat. Just a beautiful view to sit there and play POTA. If you're not doing Parks on the Air, what's stopping you? You got any questions about how to get onto Parks on the Air? I can help you. Leave a comment down below and we'll make it happen. Otherwise, there's a video right here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for being awesome. I'll see you over there. I'm gonna get this whole station torn down now.